Very good morning, viewers. I humbly request all the viewers of this content to set the settings in your YouTube settings to 720p or higher resolution. To view the content, please. Thank you. Let's start. 40 years of your hard work to earn the livelihood. 1008% economic reality. Now, what if this is an economic utopia existing, or be a motivation or something which can drive your cognitive activity more effectively? Let's see. Whatever be your wishes, dreams, and necessities, and your non-necessities, is your total 40 years, earnings, budgets, and everything. Upon that, there are some factors that are levied. Inflation, direct tax, rupee per dollar depreciation factors, indirect taxes, upscaling, income escalation, 40 years. So probably approximately 1008% economic reality is there for 40 years minimum. 5.4% per annum into 40 years is 216%. 0.845% per annum, at least minimum for 40 years is 33%. 7.8% into 40 years is, repeat depreciating 312%. 1.175% per annum increment, indirect taxes, 40 years is 47%. And 10% per annum, at least whatever, you spend the money on your education throughout your life or whatever upskilling you do, at least it should give 10% per annum of the investment made on your upskilling with respect to time in 40 years. So that total comes out to be 1008% economic reality. Let's move on. Now, what are the ingredients of a wise person or organizations? Basically, it's a thought process. One, the person or organizations must have studied and understood the patterns of financial budgets and about the country's financial transactions in which they do transactions, that country. Business income, salary income, expenses, investment projections, etc. Number two, the person have studied the financial patterns audited by himself or herself, its financial transactions, pattern dynamics, self-genesis data. Third, is able to use its cognitive functions of its brain to correlate and manifest wisdom now in those financial transactions based on knowledge derived from above points two, one and two. The two things. The two things what I'm going to talk in the whole content in this video are these top two things. I'm not showcasing the act of anti non-disparagement of cognitive activities of people. Rather than I want to share a view that if a person or an organization wants to make 3.1 economically viable decisions, 3.2 innovative decisions to benefit others or their clients, 3.3 do practical possible mathematically predictive economically better decisions, economically sustainable decisions, which do not lead to generational economic meltdowns of the system they are a part of and greatly impact our GDP, gross domestic income, and per capita income, etc. One must think to act on those two things. I'll give you an example of our nation, India, 2022. The population was 1.417 billion in that year. The indirect tax collection was 30.82 lakh crores, and the direct tax collection was 16.61 lakh crores. Now let's go slowly. We'll calculate a per capita income tax per person collected per year. If you divide, 13.82 lakh crore per year by population of India in that year, it comes out to be approximately 9,000 rupees per person. And the per capita income in India is about 98,000. If you divide this, you get, the percentage of indirect tax collected by average person in a year is 9.589%. 16.61 lakh crore per year divided by population of India is about 11,000 rupees per person. Divided by per capita income of India is 98,000 per person, which means that the direct tax collected from one person average is 11.52%. The ingredients of a wise person is carrying on. What if this is happening, or what actually is happening? Did he or she or the organization evaluate? Out of the 100% per capita income of the person annually, 8%, okay, say we keep it for profit, 9.859% indirecto per capita tax, 11.52 directo per capita tax, 5.4 inflational, and 7.8% rupee and dollar depreciation rate in India. So what is left is 57.4 to 1% left. Now, what if this is happening, or what actually is happening? Did he or she evaluate? Let's check. Minus 8.1% from that 57.42%, healthcare, minus 15.8% transportation, minus 5.1% entertainment, minus 32.9% housing, minus 12.8% food, minus 3.1% apparels. So actually that is left for you to, play for your investments, or, whatever the savings that you want to do, whatever your mind thinks investment is a better way to do savings, or, investing, whatever it is. You have just 20.379% of your annual income left. Let's see the utopia. The economic equality is the first point. The economic inequalities are also determined by the Gini's coefficient, rightfully monitored by the CIA and Paris Economic Organization and many powerful organizations across the world, and the powerful dominators in the economic forum. But let's make this more easy for a common man. What permutation and combination can be deployed by the brain of the common man, with not even complete knowledge of those permutation combinations of those differential equations, which can make this 20.379% build 1008% minimum in 40 years, or maybe more than that, which will solve the 7 of the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. I mean, we could work hard and ease the lives of those estuaries and the family lives of those fund managers employed by the banks and the investment banks, who are drilled not only from the employer side, but even we as customers, our bosses on them. I am talking about the empathy on them. And I'm talking about a serious decision making power of your 20.379% annual income left, which you're using to experiment absolutely on products of investment, asset building, and accidental liability manifestations, without using the powers of the two things: the pattern understandings of the budget of the country you transaction, along with your generational financial history of transactions. These are the two things. I mean, I'm talking about the liberation of freedom of those pressurized fund managers, those struggling asset management firms. Can we sit down and study with respect of the budgets of our countries, and maybe invested portfolios of mammoth like BlackRock, Vanguard, and such sustainable investment bankers, and understand their formula of cognitivity? Let's go on the next slide. Your decisions for the 20.379% of your annual income left. News, media, social media, our own market research and intelligence, our thoughts and about things, our professionals, what nutrition, all malnutrition we intake, are we psychologically fit to maximize our potentials upon this competition and the rat race, family pressures, and that lonely you. The person that I'm interested to talk about is the lonely you. The deepest level, the untrained person who never studied the birth pattern and the current ongoing financial budgets of the country you are transacting in. Upon that, he or she doesn't even have its genesis data of financial patterns. 20.379% financial decisions growth I'm talking about now. What if we got the tools and training which can lead your cognitive functions, the think, to be more innovative, economic fund multiplier? I invite you, let's meet and discuss how can we reach that. Let's connect. Thank you.